Have you ever been told you look younger than your age? Maybe by a stranger or a friend. They pause, intrigued, trying to place you in time, and then they say, "You don't seem to age like the rest of us." First, you laugh it off. Maybe it's just good lighting, maybe genetics, maybe sheer luck. But what if it's something more? What if your youthful glow is not just a matter of biology, but a reflection of something deeper, something spiritual? Today, you are going to discover the spiritual secret of why you appear younger than your age. A truth that could change how you see yourself and your very existence. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And now, let's begin. 1. Old souls appear younger. There is a peculiar paradox that has puzzled many. Why do those who carry the weight of deep wisdom often appear lighter, freer, even younger than their years suggest? Think about it. Have you ever met someone who seemed ageless? Not because their skin was untouched by time, but because their presence carried a rare kind of ease? There was something about them, an energy, a glow, an unshaken calm, as if they had lived 1,000 lives, yet were untouched by their burdens. These people are what we call old souls, beings who have traversed the vast corridors of existence, who have seen and understood life on a level that transcends a single lifetime. And yet, rather than being weighed down by this knowing, they seem free. Why? Because true wisdom does not burden, it liberates. Those who have learned the deeper truths of existence do not cling, do not resist, do not fight against what is. They move with life, not against it. And in this effortless acceptance, they remain light. And lightness, my friend, is the essence of youth. The great philosopher Socrates left us with a simple yet profound truth. Know thyself. And within this phrase lies a secret to timelessness. Those who truly know themselves, who have walked the path of self-inquiry, who have stripped away illusion and embraced their truest nature, these are the ones who move through the world with ease. There is no longer a war within them, no longer a need to force or to prove. And because they are at peace within, this peace reflects outwardly. A person who has found their true self has no need to chase youth, for they have transcended the very fear of aging. They do not carry the tension of becoming. They simply are. And in this simplicity, they remain fresh, vibrant, untouched by the weight of time. Do you see? The secret is not in trying to stay young. It is in knowing yourself so deeply that you no longer fear growing old. The wisdom of old souls is not random, it is earned. And in the great spiritual traditions of the East, this wisdom is understood as the result of lifetimes upon lifetimes of experience. Hindu philosophy speaks of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The soul, again and again, takes on new forms, learning, growing, evolving. And within this cycle, there is a goal, moksha, liberation, the ultimate transcendence beyond illusion and suffering. Now, what does this have to do with youthfulness? Everything. An old soul, one who has traveled through countless lives, begins to remember. Even if not consciously, they carry within them a deep, instinctive knowing that nothing in this world is permanent, that struggle is unnecessary, that life flows best when it is allowed to flow freely. They do not resist the tides of time because they have seen them before, again and again. And so an old soul walks lightly. They are not burdened by the small dramas that consume so many. They do not waste energy on illusions, on trivialities, on unnecessary suffering. And because they are not burdened, they remain youthful. Not in years, but in presence, in vitality, in spirit. Could this be why some people, without effort, without skincare, without obsession, appear untouched by time? Perhaps it is not the length of life that shapes a person's presence, but the depth of their understanding. 2. There is a hidden secret, one that has been known for centuries by the wisest among us. The secret is this: those who remain close to nature remain close to the source of life itself. Think about it. Step into a dense forest, a place where time seems to stand still. The trees do not rush. The rivers do not force. The wind does not struggle. Everything simply flows effortlessly, naturally. And yet, nature remains fresh, vibrant, alive. Have you ever wondered why? Because nature does not resist life. It does not cling to what has passed, nor does it anxiously reach for what has yet to come. It exists fully, completely in the present moment. And those who align themselves with nature, who breathe deeply beneath open skies, who immerse themselves in the stillness of trees, those are the ones who absorb this timeless energy. The Japanese have a practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. Not bathing in the way we think, but immersing oneself in the energy of the trees, of the air, of the living world. Science now confirms what ancient wisdom has always known. Time spent in nature reduces stress hormones, slows aging, and restores balance to the body and mind. Could it be, then, that your youthful glow is not just an accident? That perhaps, without even realizing it, you have been tapping into the life force of the universe? Have you ever noticed that when you spend time in nature, you feel lighter, fresher, more alive? That is not imagination, that is energy. That is alignment. The ancient Stoics, too, understood this truth. They spoke of something called logos, the divine intelligence that governs the cosmos. They believed that to live well, one must live in harmony with this order, this natural flow of existence. What does this mean for you? It means that when you resist life, when you dwell on the past, worry about the future, fight against what is, you create stress, and stress accelerates aging. But when you surrender to the flow of life, when you trust in the intelligence of the universe, when you accept things as they are and move with them rather than against them, you remain light, unburdened, timeless. This is why some people age quickly, while others remain vibrant. It is not just about genetics. It is about whether you are living in alignment with life or in resistance to it. So ask yourself, are you fighting the current of your own existence, or are you allowing yourself to be carried by the river of time? Because those who resist will always feel the weight of years. But those who align themselves with the great flow will always remain youthful in spirit. 3. Emotional lightness. Have you ever met someone whose face seemed burdened by time? Not because of the years they have lived, but because of the weight they carry within. It is not always physical age that shapes a person's presence. More often, it is the unseen burdens, the silent wounds, the unspoken regrets, the emotions left unresolved. There are those who move through life lightly, as if untouched by the struggles of the world. And then there are those whose very presence feels heavy, as if they have been carrying an invisible load upon their shoulders for decades. What is the difference? It is not fate. It is not random. It is the weight of emotion. Resentment hardens the face. Fear tenses the body. Anger etches itself into the skin. Worry dulls the eyes. But peace smooths everything. Joy illuminates. Love softens. Letting go rejuvenates. Perhaps the reason you appear younger than your age is because, somewhere within you, you have learned the secret that so many struggle to grasp, that clinging to heavy emotions is the fastest way to age the soul. So if you have ever been told that you look younger than your age, perhaps it is time to ask yourself, is it because Deep down, you have discovered the secret of lightness? Perhaps you have learned, consciously or unconsciously, to release what others hold on to flow with life rather than fight it, to embrace each moment fully, and then let it go when it is time to move forward. For inner tranquility, have you ever noticed that the people who seem to age the fastest are often those who live in a constant state of tension? The ones whose minds never rest, whose hearts are always burdened, whose thoughts race from one worry to the next. And then there are others, those whose very presence feels light, untouched by the weight of the world. Their faces are smooth, not because of a lack of years, but because of a lack of worry. Their energy is fresh, not because of something external, but because of something internal. What is the difference? It is not just lifestyle. It is not just luck. It is the presence or absence of inner tranquility. Stress is the great thief of youth. It accelerates aging, weakens the body, dulls the skin, and drains vitality. And yet, so many cling to it as if it were necessary, as if life cannot be lived without struggle, without overthinking, without suffering. Inner tranquility is not passivity. It is not about avoiding challenges or pretending that problems do not exist. It is about learning to move through life without allowing chaos to take residence in your soul. Ask yourself how much of your stress is truly necessary, and how much of it is a habit, a pattern, something you have unknowingly chosen to carry. Perhaps the reason you look younger than your age is because, on some level, you have discovered what so many search for but never find: the ability to be at peace no matter what is happening around you. The philosopher Epicurus believed that true happiness is found not in excess, not in constant stimulation, but in simplicity, in peace, in the absence of unnecessary suffering. He taught us that most of our worries are illusions, that the things we fear, aging, the future, uncertainty, are often worse in our minds than they are in reality. And so, we spend our lives running, chasing, grasping, hoping to find security in things that can never truly bring it. But what if we stopped? What if we embraced joy, not as something to be earned through struggle, but as something that already exists in the present moment? Imagine a life where you are no longer a prisoner of anxiety. A life where your mind is not constantly occupied with worries, but open, clear, light. This is not fantasy. It is a choice. It is a practice. And those who have mastered it, those who have learned the art of resting in peace, rather than living in stress, carry a certain glow about them. A glow that is untouched by time. A glow that cannot be replicated by any external means. Perhaps the reason some people never seem to age is because they have chosen, consciously or unconsciously, to live in joy rather than fear, to cultivate inner peace rather than endless tension, to exist in harmony with life rather than fight against it. 5. Kindness, compassion, and the flow of energy. Have you ever noticed that the most radiant people are not necessarily the youngest? They are not always those with the smoothest skin, the most symmetrical features, or the most perfect physiques. Instead, they are those whose presence feels like warmth, whose energy soothes rather than drains, whose mere existence seems to light up the room. What is their secret? It is found in something much deeper, something intangible yet undeniably powerful: the energy of the heart. Think about a time when someone showed you true kindness. A moment when someone's presence alone made you feel safe, understood, and at peace. That person in that moment was beautiful, not because of their physical form, but because of the energy they radiated. Kindness is more than an action. It is a vibration. It is a force that transforms both the giver and the receiver. And those who live in this state, those whose hearts remain pure, whose compassion flows freely, carry a light within them that does not dim with age. Because beauty is not just about how you look, it is about how you make others feel. And those who carry love in their hearts will always appear younger than those who carry resentment, envy, or anger. Why? Because love is light, and lightness is youth. In Mahayana Buddhism, there is the path of the Bodhisattva, a being who has attained enlightenment, yet chooses to remain in the world to help others. Instead of seeking personal escape from suffering, the Bodhisattva dedicates their existence to guiding others toward peace, towards liberation, towards inner freedom. And in doing so, they become untouched by the burdens of selfish desire, of greed, of the corrosive forces that age the soul long before they age the body. This is the secret many do not understand. When you live for others, you preserve yourself. When your purpose is greater than your own needs, when your heart beats not just for yourself but for the world, something miraculous happens. You transcend the heaviness of self-centered worry. You step beyond the fear of aging, beyond the obsession with time, beyond the stress of trying to hold on to what is inevitably changing. Because true beauty, true youth, true radiance is not about clinging to the self. It is about dissolving into something greater. It is about existing as a source of light rather than as a seeker of it. And the Bodhisattva, in choosing to serve rather than to grasp, walks a path where the soul never grows old and the spirit never fades. Perhaps the reason some people never seem to age is because, knowingly or unknowingly, they have walked this path as well. Perhaps you, in your kindness, in your love, in your quiet moments of compassion, have already been preserving your spirit in ways you never realized. Seven Science has long shown us that optimism and happiness have a profound effect on the body. When you are joyful, your stress hormones decrease, your immune system strengthens, your cells regenerate more efficiently. In other words, your body listens to your emotions. When you carry joy, your body responds with life. But joy is more than a biological function. It is a spiritual force, a sacred energy that slows down the weight of time, that shields you from the heaviness of the world, that keeps your spirit light even when your body ages. Joy is not ignorance. It is not avoidance. It is not a naive detachment from life's difficulties. Joy is wisdom. It is the understanding that no matter what happens, you have the power to choose light over darkness, love over fear, peace over chaos. And those who make that choice, day after day, year after year, radiate an energy that defies time itself. Baruch Spinoza, the philosopher of divine substance and interconnected existence, once said, "Joy is man's passage from a lesser to a greater perfection." He saw joy not as a fleeting emotion, but as an expansion of the soul, a state of alignment with the universe itself. What does this mean for you? It means that joy is not just an effect of a good life, it is the cause of it. It means that when you cultivate happiness, you are not simply experiencing something personal. You are tapping into something cosmic, something divine. And those who understand this, those who live in this state of joy, find themselves untouched by the forces that drain and wither the spirit. Because to live in joy is to live in harmony with life itself. And when you are in harmony, you glow, you shine. You radiate youthfulness no matter your age. Now let's talk about the ultimate truth about agelessness. The secret to agelessness is not about stopping time. It is about understanding that you are never a finished being. Hegel, the great German philosopher, taught us something profound. We are never just being, we are always becoming. Life is a constant unfolding, a never-ending process of growth, contradiction, and transformation. When we resist change, we stagnate. and stagnation is what truly ages us. But when we embrace the ever-evolving nature of our soul, when we allow ourselves to keep learning, growing, and adapting, our energy remains fresh, vibrant, and alive. Those who stay young in spirit are not those who fear aging, but those who understand that life itself is always in motion. If I asked you, who are you? What would you say? Would you point to your body, your face, the reflection in the mirror, or would you look deeper? Because the greatest illusion, one that binds so many people to fear and suffering, is the belief that you are this body. Advaita Vedanta, the ancient non-dualistic school of Hindu philosophy, tells us something radical. You are not your body. You are not even your mind. You are pure consciousness, eternal, boundless, unchanging. The body is but a garment, a vessel. It moves through time, it changes, it shifts, but you, the real you, remain untouched. And when you realize this, when you stop identifying with the body and start aligning with the infinite consciousness that you truly are, something miraculous happens. You stop fearing age. And when you stop fearing age, its grip on you weakens. Now, close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, which of these insights resonated with you the most? Where do you see these energies reflected in your own life? Are you flowing with time, or are you fighting it? Are you carrying emotional burdens that weigh upon your spirit? Or have you embraced the lightness of release? Do you move through life with wonder, with curiosity, with the openness of a beginner's mind? Or have you allowed the world to harden you, to close you off, to make you believe that aging is something to fear? The answers to these questions shape your energy, and your energy shapes your presence. This is not just philosophy. This is your life. And only you can choose whether you will walk this world as a being of lightness or as one burdened by illusion. In the end, looking young isn't about fighting time. It's about flowing with it. It's about releasing, not resisting, embracing, not fearing. The more you let go of control, the more radiant you become. The more you trust in life, the more time ceases to weigh upon you. The more you step into your truest self, the more you glow, not just in appearance, but in presence. Because, my friend, you are not old. You are not young. You are timeless. If you've made it this far, then something within you has resonated. Something deep inside you recognizes these truths, not as new knowledge, but as something you've always known, something simply remembered. And that means you are ready for more. So, if this journey has spoken to your soul, subscribe to the channel. Not just for more videos, but for a deeper exploration of the wisdom that has always been waiting for you.